Hi everyone, welcome to Pregame at Franklin's. My name is Jason Franklin. Today we have a special guest today. One of my close friends, Dwayne King, who happens to be a Patriots fan, especially in, I know you're pretty happy right now.
Oh yeah, man. Great time.
I know being a Patriots fan, you obviously watch that game a little bit different than the rest of the world. And there's a lot of feuds going on with that victory, a lot of controversial situations going on. I want you to talk about it being the Patriots fan that you are.
So the play-by-play on the game for me was I was sitting there, I was watching the game. We started off a little slow, a couple drops here and there. At halftime, I ordered some food. I did the real classic move, ordered some food, got myself back together. And I said, if anybody's going to make this comeback, it's Brady and Belichick.
Now, you have been with Tom Brady from the jump as a fan.
Yes.
Now, last year, you heard about the deflated balls.
Yes.
And this year, despite his 5-game suspension, he gets another shot to take his team to the Super Bowl and obviously wins it. So what does that say about Tom Brady in your eyes?
That says that the resilience of the New England Patriots from top to bottom is just unmatched throughout. We have a backup quarterback in Jimmy Garoppolo who, could start on any team in the league right now, pretty much in the NFL. So in terms of how we established ourselves as a team, I think him being suspended really brought us together as a unit because football, not one player will ever win you a game, ever.
It's true. That is very true. Now, here's how I look at the Tom Brady situation. You get a guy like Roger Goodell, the commissioner, to back a reason to call your star quarterback a cheater. And that quarterback the next year, despite sitting out 5 games, you come back. I mean, how is that for the ultimate, F you to the commissioner that you can give me whatever kind of ball you want to give me and I'm going to shove it right down your throat? And I love that about Tom. And that's the reason why now, after the victory's over, I'm really a big fan of Tom Brady because I feel like he's the ultimate guy that's like, look, only haters are going to say it's fake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that like the oldest saying? Only haters are going to say it's fake.
So my take on the whole suspension thing was, I thought it was Roger Goodell on a witch hunt for the Patriots, which was I was really blown away by the actual suspension because he handled some other incidents that were a lot more seriousness with less suspensions, which was, in my eyes, put a really shame on the NFL. Next, Brady was going through some serious things, family and his life-wise. You guys, people don't understand. Tom Brady is also a human being. Right. He also has a mother. He also has a father. He has a kid, he has a family, and a wife. So the things that he has a sick mother right now. So the things that he really cared about is his mom. The suspension and all that is over with. That really fired up Patriot Nation.
No, yeah.
That gave us fuel to our fire. Now we will stand up with more pride than we ever had because you called us cheaters. And guess what? We don't have to cheat to win, ever.
Mm-hmm. For the people who are big Tom Brady haters, guys who just can't accept when maybe the greatest of all time is in your presence, whether he is or not, this is a very controversial and touchy subject. I mean, almost as controversial as the election. Mm-hmm. So when you look at a guy like Tom Brady who's got the perfect wife in his eyes, in everyone's eyes, which makes them hate him or love him, he's got great, beautiful kids, he's got a great family, and his mom's going through cancer. It's like, this is a great American story. Now, I would say 5 years ago, if this story was on the rise, it wouldn't be nowhere near reflected negatively like it is right now. I believe the times right now, I think hating is on an all-time high.
Yes, I 100% agree with the hate is at an all-time high throughout the U.S. Yeah. Everybody is very quick to point out the negative in somebody and versus the pluses. So, for instance, nobody would like to see Tom Brady win, because he let somebody else win. He works hard, just as every other quarterback works hard. So, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, people are going to really start to understand the greatness that Tom Brady possessed because he has class. And, he could have said, Roger Goodell, in your face.
Right.
I did it. But, he didn't. He did it with class. And we, as a society, we just throw a lot of shade. Yeah. Period. And, and I think a lot of it is, too, that he has beaten every team in the NFL multiple times.
He has. And he's one of the best. So I want to ask you this because we talk about hating being on an all-time high right now. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Now, what I want to talk about is I think there's a way our generation has kind of been bred to be the first ones to hate rather than understand that in order for you to get to that spot, a lot of hard work needs to be taking place. I think that people are so quick to judge and say that people are fakes, people are cheating, and all this stuff, when it might be just because they work hard, but it's the easiest excuse to give people a reason why they're where they are and Tom Brady's where he is. I'm going to go now into baseball. Now, no one really watches baseball from my friends group, but just recently, the reason why I haven't watched it, I finally came up with the conclusion of why I don't watch it now, but I watched it in the 90s. In the 90s, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm pro steroids when it comes to baseball. Like, those guys need to look scary. They need to be putting 65 jacks out in a year. Because if they're not,
it's boring.
It's boring as hell.
It's boring. It's boring. I agree.
Like, what the hell?
I agree. I 100% agree with that because I was big on baseball in the 90s. We had great baseball games. We had Jeff Bagwell, Jose Canseco. We had,
you had guys that would get up to the plate and they'd scare the shit out of you, like, holy crap.
And then you had, like, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, who went in front of Congress and said they never took steroids. Like, that's just grade A.
Little did I know they were protecting baseball. Like, right now, all these little mofos look the same, bro.
Yep.
All these guys, yes, you have a guy who, like, might be one big hitter for a team, but back in the day, the third and fourth batters looked like their biceps were bigger than their torso. Like, they were just big, monstrous people that if I was a pitcher and I looked across and I saw Barry Bonds, whose head's about as big as the mound, I'm going to be afraid to throw the freaking pitch. Like, I'm going to be like, holy shit, this was going out.
I 100% agree with the excitement for baseball, for me at least, is, I liked more of the personalities.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that there's not enough personalities in baseball for me anymore. It's not enough personalities. There needs to be more personality in baseball, for me at least.
Like, the last guy that I actually cheered for in baseball, and the only reason why I watched, given the fact that I grew up in LA, was Dodger games, was when they had Manny Ramirez, dude.
Okay. Ooh.
Manny, everyone would be wearing these tight stirrups and these tight pants, and Manny's walking in there with, like, what looked like the baggiest pants in the MLB. And he didn't care. He was relaxed, and he just hit jacks. And the whole left field was called Mannywood, just cheering. All of, like, the Hispanic population of Chavez Ravine was going nuts for Manny Ramirez. And I was like, this is awesome. And that was, ever since then, baseball's been out of my life because it's just tough to watch.
Yes, it is. I mean, I'm going to be really missing David Ortiz this next year.
Yeah, dude. That's the last guy who's just the big dude that when he gets up to bat, you're like, oh. Now you have like a bunch of like 5'7", the same looking guy. I feel like they all clone the same second base and shortstop body scheme, and they just brought him into the whole MLB, and they just like have him as all clones.
That is 100% fact.
Like, yeah, it's not the same. It's like when Alex Rodriguez was playing shortstop and he was as big as he was on the Yankees, and he's just jacked, and he's playing shortstop. He's not a 5'7" little bit of infielder, but hey, that's my take on baseball, dude. Like,
I agree.
It's hard to watch. It's a long season, and like spring training is great out here in Arizona because of girls.
Woo! Spring training.
It's like waste management for all of spring. It's
for a month.
Now, here's my question. When did the telescope on athletes become so minuscule that it's almost people are judging their moral character like as if they are the president? Like, you are an athlete. Your job is to ball out. A situation comes where, let's say, Plaxico Burress, you shoot yourself in the leg. Mm-hmm. You hotbox a car. Mm-hmm. When would that ever be even a big news story for these athletes, especially when their job is just to play sports? And if they find whatever they do off the field should never even matter as long as they're producing on the field. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think media needs to figure out, is that if you're going to portray a life that the players have off, mm-hmm. you have no reason to do it in a negative light other than your personal benefits. But they don't understand that through giving information about the athletes in a positive light, it could do the same thing in a much more healthy way.
Exactly. And like, for instance, Sports Center, I love Sports Center, but news in general today is very negative based. And that's just the way like life has been for me for the past 10 years. I have noticed that news in general has been very negative based, whether it's been politics, whether it's been sports. Everybody wants a dead horse. Everybody wants a dark team. Everybody wants something to nitpick. And people they need to start seeing the positive light. I'm going back to the positive light and things. These athletes do a lot of great things for their communities that goes unspoken for.
Right.
And, you'll hear about, but you will hear about them very quickly. You'll hear about them getting, into a fight at a club.
Yeah.
Or they were drunk and they did something. You're really quick to hear that. But did you ever think of the other side of the fence?
Yeah,
and
true.
what they do on their spare time? Maybe you just fail to realize, seek to understand.
When you're a big name, you're the target. Mm-hmm. Your friend could have started the fight. Your friend could have thrown the punches. But if you're that big name in that environment, the cop sees the big name and now you are the one who threw punches, not your friend. And they even know that. But they're the cops. And sometimes, I'm not saying all cops because there's some great cops out there, but it makes it a much more tasty arrest if you have the big name guy and you're known as that cop or that person to get this big name guy and arrest him. See, here's the problem what people don't understand is that athletes are at a continuous uphill run with the media. This is what in my career, I hope to change because athletes shouldn't feel that pressure by the public and especially publicity. They should feel the only pressure is their ability to succeed on the field that upcoming year or that year in general. There should be no stress involved, it could be family stuff that should stress them, but nothing to do with media or stories about somebody hitting an ex-girlfriend 10 years ago. Like stories like that coming up when it's just somebody being bloodthirsty and trying to get someone when they're up. Mm-hmm. Like it's so obvious to the public, but yet we refuse to see the good side of the story. We only want to see the bad side of the story because if we think that someone that high does something so negative that it somewhat brings them to our level, well, let me tell you something. Like there's your problem. You're comparing yourself to people like this. That's why you're a hater. You're comparing yourself to people like this. Stop doing that. Be yourself. Compete. Try to be the best at something.
Yes, compete. Yes.
Yeah, just compete in life. Because what's the point, dude? What's the point? Dude, that's not us.
I 100% agree with, compete.
Yeah.
And competition isn't always bad.
No.
And that's where people get, losing hurts, but guess what? You're not going to go through life without catching a few losses and bouncing back from ever. For instance, whatever, besides me, Brady has 2 Super Bowl losses.
Yeah.
And, that hurts to say, but you don't think that fuels
his fire?
You don't think that fuels his fire?
Dude.
And people you don't understand, maybe a setback here, bounce back.
You lose 2 Super Bowls, guys. Somebody loses 1 Super Bowl like Dan Marino and his whole career is rocked and he never really regains that momentum that he had. Tom Brady has overcame 2 of those, man. That's crazy to me. I don't know. It could be crazy to, it could maybe not strike your fancy. But for me as a football player, if I was a Falcons fan and I saw that game, yes, I'd be pissed off that the Falcons lost. Mm-hmm. But here's what I would appreciate. That was one of the best dang football games that I've ever watched as a fan and even as a player.
That's sports, and you gotta love that. You gotta love the comeback.
Yeah,
this is the 2017 is the year of the comeback, and just be prepared for some more crazy comebacks. And because the sports are only getting better,
it's only getting better, baby.
They're only getting better, and these podcasts are only getting better.
They're only getting better, man. And Dwayne King's gonna be on here a lot more, so everyone get used to him because he's awesome. And I think that pretty much does it with Pregame at Franklin's. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. I'm Jason Franklin.
I'm Dwayne King. Thank you, Cape Cod representative.